Square Enix developer, let's slip the yes of Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster is probably on the way. Rumor Final Fantasy Tactics Revival can now be in full development at Square Enix. Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster is coming, says Insider. Wait, did Square Enix just tease a Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster? Tom, did you know that there's a Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster coming out? Did you know that Final Fantasy Tactics Reborn is on the way? Holy crap, it's coming! No. Nothing is confirmed. Let's talk about it. Hello, everyone. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Titanium Legman, and most of you at this point on the channel are here for tactics games, for strategy games, things like Tactics Ogre or Fire Emblem or things like that. Not everyone, and I recognize that, but the majority of the channel's growth has been centered around strategy RPGs. And seeing as how I've stated many times that Final Fantasy Tactics is my favorite strategy RPG of all time, not exactly an uncommon opinion, but, you know, it is what it is. I've had a lot of people ask me if I think that there's going to be a remaster, remake, maybe reborn version of the game. And there's reason to believe that there is. However, because people know that I'm so interested in this game, I have had community members, friends, family, all sorts of people come to me in the last week or so, losing their gourds, because it's been confirmed, it was announced that there's going to be a Final Fantasy Tactics remake, yada, 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 yada. And every time, I have a slight moment of panic that I've missed an important bit of news. And every time, it comes back to one of two, maybe three sources. Let's talk about that. Because no, Final Fantasy Tactics Reborn, quote-unquote, has not been confirmed, as much as I wish that that was the case. What's the first issue here? Well, there was an interview with the Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line Rhythm game that came out recently. The developer team for that game was interviewed, and it was asked why there were no Final Fantasy Tactics characters in the game. And the developer that was being interviewed said that they basically have not had the chance to speak with or collaborate with the Final Fantasy Tactics team because they are very busy on another project. That's it. Not they're working on Final Fantasy Tactics, not Final Fantasy Tactics Reborn is coming. Just literally, this is the quote. The Tactics team is incredibly busy at the moment. They have other things to do. They are heavily involved in another project at the moment, so we just don't have time to talk to them. And all of the articles, all of the clickbait, all of the rumors and speculation and hype started up immediately because, I mean, people have been asking for this game for ages, rightfully so, myself included. So people just ran with this. But this could be anything. The Final Fantasy Tactics team could be working on a different strategy game in a different pre-established IP or a new IP. Maybe they're helping with a Triangle Strategy remake or sequel, I should say. Or maybe they're working on a completely different project that has absolutely nothing to do with tactics. Maybe this is a Final Fantasy Tactics gacha game. Who knows? It has absolutely zero confirmation that this is Final Fantasy Tactics Reborn. But people have been running with it. This was then not helped by point number two. One, perhaps infamous game journalist, Jason Schreier. And now before anyone hops into my comments to start dunking on Jason Schreier or whatever, I don't care. Don't even bother. I don't care. It's not the point of the video. Some people like his work. Some people hate the guy. I'm disconnected from it. I don't care. All I know is that he seems to have a lot of good insider information. You know, most recently, as far as my awareness goes, he was involved in the whole Bayonetta 3, Helena Taylor controversy thing, and he was like the first person that broke the, no, she's kind of actually lying out her ass side of the story, when that was not the narrative that was going around at all at the time, and that turned out to be true. So whether you like the guy's work or not, it seems like he has a lot of insider information. And so recently, when he was talking about Octopath Traveler 2, someone asked him, where is Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster? And he said simply, coming. Nothing else. And everyone, it would seem, took that a little too literally in their reaction. This is not a confirmation of anything. This could literally just be based off of the GeForce Now leak from years ago, which is where the Final Fantasy Tactics remake, remaster, rumor mill really started up. This is not a confirmation from Square Enix. This is not a confirmation that there's anything new that's even out there to know. It could be. It could literally also just be, it's probably in the works because look at the tactics genre. Look at how well Tactics Ogre has done, Triangle Strategy has done. Look at all the indie games. Look at Fire Emblem, etc., etc., etc. Of course it's coming. When, where, how, nobody knows. So what is this GeForce Now leak then? This is kind of point 3, and this is where things really started. But it was these last 2 points that really kind of kicked the hornet's nest. Well, the GeForce Now leak is something that I've talked about in the past, and is the reason that I do believe we're getting a Reborn for Final Fantasy Tactics. In this GeForce Now leak, there was a slew of games from Square Enix, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, all sorts of different stuff. You know, former PlayStation exclusive games coming to PC, different games coming to Game Pass, sequels to things that are in the works, etc., etc., etc. And in the section on Square Enix, and like almost all of this stuff has come true at this point, in the section on Square Enix, we had Tactics Ogre Reborn. That was listed before it was ever announced, before anything else about it was ever leaked, anything. Obviously, if you're on this channel, you probably know that wound up coming true. Listed right alongside it was a as of yet untitled Final Fantasy Tactics remake / remaster. And given how pretty much everything else on that list has been announced or come out, or at least have been confirmed to be in the works in some way, including Tactics Ogre Reborn, and seeing as how well Tactics Ogre Reborn, Triangle Strategy, indie strategy games, Fire Emblem, how well that genre is doing, it would be ludicrous to assume that Square Enix wasn't working on something in the background, seeing as how, regardless of which one you feel is better, Final Fantasy Tactics is pretty much bar none the more well-known, more loudly desired game of the two. And if they did Tactics Ogre Reborn, you know they're doing the one that's even more popular and has an even higher demand. That is not a confirmation. Nothing has been confirmed. Don't get your hopes up just yet. Again, I do think it's coming. Don't know when. Don't know how. Don't listen to the clickbait rumors and articles that are trying to say that there was some big announcement that there wasn't. Remember, this is one offhand comment from an unrelated developer simply saying that they didn't have the opportunity to work with the tactics team because they're very busy with something. Could be tactics. Could be something completely else. We don't know. And one games journalist with admittedly a lot of good insider information, but still one single games journalist with a one-word response of coming. Not even coming soon. I mean, that's nothing. That's a giant nothing burger. Now, don't despair. And also don't come at me for popping the bubble of excitement here. I'm going to be more hyped than possibly anybody else on Earth once this gets announced. Believe you me. But I want people to have a grounded, realistic sense of what is going on. Not here for the clickbait. I'm not here to clickbait you. It's pretty much all I wanted to say. When Final Fantasy Tactics does get announced, you bet your ass I will be covering every little bit of news, every little bit of discussion, everything that there is to know about that game up to its release, and then the guides, the information, the streams, the gameplay. It'll all be right here. So if you've enjoyed my content, make sure you drop a sub so that you know when all that is happening. And I promise I won't be clickbaiting you like so many other people have been in the last week. That said, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Titanium Legman. I hope you all have a good night. Stay safe and healthy out there. And remember, be good to each other. Bye now.